Hi, I'm Michelle, Director of Educational Content and Programs at Shape America. And if you want to learn more about health and physical education, you are going to love Toy Talk Tuesdays. And I'm not talking about these kinds of toys. I'm talking about Teachers of the Year. Shape America Teachers of the Year represent the best adapted physical education, dance, health, and physical education teachers in the United States, and you get to hear directly from them. So make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to comment below with the tips and resources you want to hear about most. If you're interested in learning about how to become a Shape America Teacher of the Year, just make sure to click the link right here below. Thanks so much for watching.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Toy Talk Tuesday. My name is Maureen Brennan. I'm the Director of Marketing at Goodhart Wilcox Publisher, and I'm delighted to serve as today's host. Toy Talk Tuesday is a bi-weekly series of interviews about topics in health and physical education with Shape America's National and District Teachers of the Year. I am joined today by Allisha Blanchette and Jessica Napier. I will give them each an opportunity to briefly introduce themselves.
Thank you, Maureen. I am Allisha, and I am the 2020 Midwest Health Educator of the Year, and I currently teach at DC Everest Senior High in Weston, Wisconsin.
Hi, and I'm Jessica Napier. I am the 2020 Health Education Teacher of the Year, and I'm currently an assistant principal at Lee County Middle High School in Beattyville, Kentucky.
As members of the Shape America Teacher of the Year community, you both have a unique platform to share your expertise, talents, and leadership with health and PE teachers across the country. We are so proud of your accomplishments and appreciate you participating today. You may recall our Back to School webinar in August. Allisha and Jessica talked about ways to address social emotional learning in a remote environment. In today's webinar, they will each provide an update on what's been working and what they've learned since the school year started. I'll now turn the program over to Allisha to kick us off.
Thank you, Maureen. I've definitely learned a lot since the school year has started. At DC Everest, we are actually on a hybrid model, so we see our students 2 times a week, and then they have 3 days of virtual learning. And what we learned throughout the process so far this semester is our students are thrilled to be back in school. They're so thankful to have in-person learning again, but they are still struggling on their virtual days. They're having a hard time keeping themselves accountable, holding themselves to a schedule, getting to sleep on time, getting meals when they're supposed to, and keeping up with their classwork. So in just working with their needs and just the awesomeness of our health standards, making sure that we are giving our students the skills that they need, or teaching the skills that they need. What I've actually created is a virtual schedule. So when we flip over to the second semester, one of the very first activities I'm going to do with my students is help them plan their virtual days to be a little bit more successful. So the things that we're looking at are when are your meals? So let's look at physical, mental, emotional, and social health. When are your meals? When are you doing some self-care things? When are you doing your subjects? And then the other piece that we noticed they were having a hard time with was navigating the platform as well. Different teachers were submitting their assignments and their information in different ways. So another piece of that schedule is who's your teacher, what subject is it, and where can you find their Canvas information? So in that way, we're meeting their social emotional needs, but also working on some self-management in health as well. And then the next thing that I wanted to share with you is another piece of the hybrid model. We've noticed that we've had to cut quite a bit from the curriculum. And really, again, great thing about our health standards is it's really about the skills that we're teaching students to do for themselves. Where we've had to cut a lot of information from the curriculum, it works out just fine in health because what we're doing with accessing information products and services is we're teaching them to find that information themselves. So what I've done here is create a sexual health chat room where I gave them several examples of valid and reliable resources, and then their assignment was to access several more on their own in some of the topics that I gave them, but also in some of their choice topics. So those are just a couple of examples of the way we're trying to meet their social emotional needs, but also kind of a couple of examples of how serving our health standards really are with our students' skills. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Jessica.
Thank you, Allisha. Yeah, I have to echo what Allisha is saying. Health education curriculum, certainly ours had to be adjusted as well. So now I'm in a position where I'm mentoring health educators. And the very first thing that we started with was we asked our students, what are your needs? We looked at health data, what are your needs? And so we kind of geared our curriculum this year toward that, which, a lot of people do. It's just best practice. So our health curriculum has changed quite a bit based on our student needs as well. But now I'm going to talk to you about a broader picture from an administrative point on how a team that we brought together and how we're meeting students' needs on a daily basis. So we started the year in a hybrid model. We didn't have very much success with the students who were on virtual. So we knew immediately that we had to get something in place, some safety nets in place with our administration, our teachers, our aides, and we included a lot of people. So we started off with creating a team, and you can see our team members there who we've included. We've included our director of pupil personnel at central office, our principal, our assistant principal, and we only have one of each. Our guidance counselors, we have 2 of those. We created a virtual academy, which is a staff that focuses on virtual students, which I'll talk more about here in a second. And then, of course, we always include our teachers and our aides. So the process that we go through to make sure that we are meeting the virtual needs of students, first of all, it begins with our teachers. So teachers connect with students regularly, and they try to meet their academic needs both virtually and in person. So if they come across students who are having challenges with connecting with their teachers, then those students are then referred on to our aides and our virtual academy staff who supplement and contact those students even more. And once they make those contacts, and you'll see we use the contact log there on number 2, we note the student needs. So we found that a lot of our students needed internet. So we referred that need on to central office, and they helped our students get a good internet connection in their homes. We also met their technological needs and any other needs, such as online counseling or food or transportation, because at some point we were allowed to bring in small groups for tutoring. So once our teachers identify students who have a need, then those students are then referred on to our aides and our virtual academy staff who reach out to those students again. And then once other needs are identified at that point, then we reach out to our counselors, our assistant principals, and our principals to find some safety nets, or where they put safety nets in place. And by safety nets, I mean those immediate needs that they have to have in order to be successful. And then, of course, if we have met their physical needs and the students are still unsuccessful, and then we refer those on to the director of pupil personnel, who has more extensive contact, like home visits and things like that, to see what's really going on. So, of course, although we have all of those things in place, we still have students who are struggling virtually, but we don't give up. We continue to reach out. And while all this process is going on, the teachers are still trying to connect with those students, at least on a weekly basis. So that's our model of trying to just put in place safety nets for students who are struggling in a virtual world. Right now, we are all virtual. We have been virtual for a few months now. We actually got 12 days in person, and then we had to go all virtual. But we just got word today that we will be going back in person on Tuesday. So, and of course, when we're back in person, we will be on a hybrid model, but now we have things in place to really help those virtual students, even when we have students in the building. So, in this world, I think we're just kind of building things as we go, but this is one thing that has helped us reach students, identify their needs, and to meet those needs the best we can. Back to you, Maureen.
Thanks to you both. These are great suggestions, and suggestions that people can use no matter what field they're in, not just in health education and physical education. So on behalf of the Shape America and Shape America Teacher of the Year Partner Network, thanks again to Allisha and Jessica for sharing these ready-to-use activities and tips. Be sure to visit shapeamerica.org to check out our biweekly Toy Talk Tuesday segments for more great resources from our Shape America Teacher of the Year community. Follow Shape America Spark Wellness Training Specialist, Gopher, and Goodhart Wilcox to share ideas for future Toy Talk Tuesday topics and themes. And as always, let us know any questions you may have for our Shape America Teachers of the Year. Have a healthy and active day.